For top end engine assembly, go ahead and put your two gaskets on. Then we're going to install the pistons into the wrist pins. So I'm going to have to take off the zip ties or the twist ties that came on here. Go ahead and pop one of the wrist pin clips that comes with your kit into one side of the piston. The side with the two holes right there, that always goes towards the back. There's also an arrow that points towards the front. It tells you which direction it goes in the front. Now use a little bit of two-stroke oil and lube up your wrist pin bearing, and then the little coat on the outside of your piston and the inside of the piston wouldn't hurt at all. Then you're going to put your piston on with your wrist pin bearing there. You're going to slide your wrist pin through and then put the clip on the other side. Double check after you get the wrist pin through that the piston is in the right direction before you put the new clip in. Now you're going to want to install the piston rings. Bottom one first, makes it a little bit easier. Also the writing right there, you need to make sure that's towards the top, facing upward. And then see how there's a little gap right there? That needs to line up with these pins right here, that pin and that pin. Now to install the piston, you need to make sure that the piston rings are clamping onto those two little metal parts that stick out. They're holding pins. You need to make sure that both of those are lined up. Compress the ring and then slide the cylinder on at the same time. Now after you get the cylinders torqued down, all these bolts are 20 foot-pounds. You want to do them diagonal from each other like that. Put your head gasket on. Most of them are marked. This one isn't. But the outer edge should stick up further than this middle part right here. And then put your head on top of that. Go ahead and put your 10 head bolts on. I did 3 torque settings. I just snugged them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I just snugged them up the first time. The second time I tightened them down. Put a little bit of effort in with just a regular standard 3/8 wrench. And then the third time I tightened them down, I put them to 20 foot-pounds on my torque wrench. And each time you repeat the process, make sure you follow the order of the numbers. They're upside down right now, but you should still be able to read them. Now I'm going to install the reed cages. Gasket goes on first. See it right there. Then you pop the reed cage in. And you want to do the other one. This is a common site for air intake leaks around there. So make sure those gaskets are good and make sure that you torque down the bolts pretty good that hold it in. Now you're going to install the rubber pieces that hold the carb, and also you can get leaks up here around there, and these can dry rot also. So inspect them for leaks, clean them up, and then install them with the bolts.